Hello and welcome to Surprise Synopses. My name is Harley Graham, and this is the podcast where we take one random trope and three genres out of a hat and create for you, the audience, a surprise synopsis. Introducing first, on my left, Alex.
I'm Alex. I thought that was all we'd be introducing. I didn't realize I had a speech. No, you go first.
And
I'm Alex. No, that gentle listener, that was a lie. I'm Damien.
yes, metaphorically to my right, we have here Damien. Welcome, everyone. How are we feeling?
Great.
Yeah, super excited for
All right.
SingStar.
So, if you didn't listen to the pitch at the top of the show, that's really surprising. But we have here in front of us a hat, a real hat. And inside of it, there are tropes. But there are also genres. So, we pick out one trope, and then one by one, we each pull out a genre.
Well, my tropes aren't in there yet.
Oh, well, we need to prepare. Yes, go ahead.
Is
Put
it-
them on that side. Yes.
Okay.
All right, the tropes are loaded.
I'm going to fetch the genres out. All right.
All right.
The hat is now being rumbled for true randomness.
Oh, yeah, the ASMR people are loving this. Scuffle, scuffle, scuffle. All right, and our trope is...
Yes. Our trope is magical curse.
Ooh.
So every pitch we perform tonight must have a magical curse.
All right. So now are we ready for some genres?
Yes. All right. Since I did the intro and Damien did the tropes, Alex, you're up first.
Ooh, exciting.
Our
okay.
inaugural pitcher.
Ooh. What is this? The pitch?
This is the genre.
The genre? Oh, am I allowed to swear? Fuck. I got historical.
So you have to create a pitch around a historical magical curse.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm glad you're
Yeah.
going first.
Just a real life,
Okay.
as it happened,
Yeah.
magical curse
Cool.
feature film.
Yeah.
All right. We're in history.
Yes.
It's before now.
That is history. Yes.
I'm gonna say medieval times, even. So I'm talking like knights
It's a classic choice.
and dragons, which I feel like looking around this room is probably risky that I'm doing this because I have not a clue. But it's fine. It's cool. So yep, knights and guys. All right. So there's okay. Alrighty. So there's a knight, and we obviously have to have a love story because it's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also a princess and a chick who is like not the barmaid. No, yeah, fuck it, barmaid. All right. So the barmaid and the prince is like a dick, and the princess is like has to marry him, and she's like, oh, this is shit. I don't want to do this. This is the worst ever. And they're like, some things happen, so you like empathize with the princess. You're like, oh no, this poor princess. So then she like runs away overnight, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna run away. She's pretty smart, and she goes to a bar, and there's a barmaid, and she's fucking sick as, she's cool as, she's got dreads, she's like she's wicked as, and they're like, oh my god, and they're like talking, they get drunk, and they're like having a like real bonding moment,
The D&M.
and then she's like, you know what, I've got you, fam, don't even worry, and like brings this like magical curse elixir drink.
Oh, so the barmaid is also a magic user, like
You
a
don't
witch.
know that? Shut up.
Oh,
You're watching the same movie I am, Damien. Just let it unfold.
She's mystic.
okay.
Oh.
Let's
Yeah.
not stretch to witch.
She had
Let's-
a smoky eye. She's mystic. Okay.
She's alternate.
Yeah. So they're drunk, and the princess can't remember what the magical curse on the potion is because she was drunk, and she like goes back to the castle, and she's like, oh fuck, am I meant to drink this? Am I meant to make him drink it? Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? And then she goes back to the bar the next day, and the bar like never existed. It was like it wasn't there, and she's like, ah shit, the wedding's tomorrow.
Our first plot twist of the day.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty good with them, mate. And, no, we're getting to the end now. This is don't expect much
this
more
is
from
like
here.
a second act kind of surprise.
No, that was the surprise that she couldn't remember, the drunk thing. I can't relate to that, the like not remembering in the morning.
Of course not.
So some more things to remind you that it's historical. There was some horses go past and stuff, just to remind you that she's a princess and it's a
Horses,
knight. No, he's
course, only
yeah,
exist
yeah.
in history.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
really timestamps it.
Yeah,
At the,
yeah. No Clydesdales here. It's all stallions.
Sure.
That's good flavour.
Yeah. We're not being stingy on the horses. Of course not. So, yep. So, all right. So she's got the potion, and it's like on the wedding. She's like got the dress on. It's like corseted as fuck because she's like, a princess. And she's like, all right, like either I take this potion or I make him drink it. And she's like, which one do I do? Which one do I do?
And
then?
I can't decide. You know what? I'm gonna have. She gives it to him. She slips it into his punch, and like it's taking her forever to like try and get this. And then he eventually drinks it, and then he goes invisible.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. What happens next? That's a great question. Because
So
he doesn't realize he's invisible straight away.
Oh.
But now
so it's
she
kind of a
can't
shocking moment.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she can't.
Where everyone's gasping, and he's like, "What?
Yeah, exactly. But like, he's gone, and now they're like, "Oh my god, your husband has like left you, so like you are still technically the queen now because you got married, but he's just run away."
snap.
Yeah, so she thought she'd fucked it because she was like, "Oh fuck, I was meant to go invisible so I could run away," but in the end, because no one could hear him, and then like he's talking, but like there's no one there, they're not going to believe it because witches and stuff. So she becomes the queen, and she gets to run it, and like the ghost of her husband is like forever around, but it's actually him invisible, like talking, and then like. The second movie is what happens with the ghost of her husband.
sequel.
Yeah.
So we're installing sequel bait into the.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
this is a franchise, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's like got 57. It's like Shrek, but it stays good.
But it's good.
It's like the first one is as great as the 12th.
Right. 12.
You haven't seen this 12th Shrek movie?
There's a 12th Shrek movie?
Yeah,
I'm
Shrek 12.
Yeah.
Oh.
Still merrily ever after.
They put up apartments in the swamp, and it's very modern. They advanced,
Oh,
the
right.
timeline quite a lot. It's basically modern day now.
It's now urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the triplets, one's a heroin addict and the other two are like fighting
Yeah.
over a custody battle.
Shrek has to take his kids to other Pixar films. That's like DreamWorks films.
No, he has to take them to much
I'm
better
just going to look
films.
that up. And just pick the right one when you're chopping
Yeah.
it.
I won't make you say Sony Animation at all.
Damn it. Okay, so she had the solution,
Yeah.
and it was like invisibility, and she could slip away, but she
Yeah.
lost her nerve and gave it to the prince,
Yeah.
and then it still worked out.
Yeah, it worked out because they're like, oh my God, he left you, or like he must have died, something happened. They're like, but you're technically, because she got married, she's now queen and she gets to hold that. So she sort of got the best of both worlds because now she doesn't have to marry anyone else.
That's a great ending, but can anyone else hear the prince, or does it like mute his
Yeah,
voice as
see,
well?
no, that's it. But people can hear it, but because it's medieval, everyone's really like big on like witches and stuff. So they're like, oh, it's just a ghost. And then the like town or whatever gets like haunted by the ghost of her husband. But people can actually hear him because he's alive.
No,
he's just invisible.
guys, I'm invisible.
Yeah.
Hear me.
You could front load it like they were worried about ghosts at the start. They were like, oh, we
Well,
live in
I
this
didn't
haunted
know what I was going to
castle.
say at the end when
but
I
yeah.
started.
But you could like foreshadow
Yeah,
it slightly.
there's, like, some
and then when it
ghost
happens,
stuff.
everyone's like,
It's like
I
a
knew
really
this castle was
haunted
haunted.
area, yeah.
This is like the ghosts from Act 1,
Yeah.
the peasants would say. I like it. It comes around.
Yeah, it's full circle. It's humble. And also I'm very much pro the girl like succeeding in a way that doesn't end because of the man doing something good.
That's true. Like
So yeah.
historically, that's lacking.
Yeah. So I'll take what I can get, especially because it's a historical film.
Although the moral seems to be like, ladies, poison your man.
No, it's get blackout drunk and
Well,
hang
yeah.
out with a chick with smoky
Got
eye.
a problem? Get some potions.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the lady.
Wait, does the
solving her
smoky eye chick ever return? Does
No,
she like?
she's
so she doesn't
she's
come
in
back
and
as
out.
like she's not at the wedding at the back, like wink to the audience kind of thing.
No,
she's
no,
just,
because
she's
then
gone.
she could ask her about them. No, she's gone. She's in
She
and
only
out.
comes back in the 8th film in a cameo.
Yes.
Oh, so she's like in the stingers, like after the credit,
she's
like
the Thanos of this world.
yeah.
She comes
Smoky Eye
back when
Gypsy
we're
will
losing.
return.
When we're losing viewers, she comes back.
Yeah. The tavern just travels between cinematic universes. I'm gonna see if I can work the tavern into my pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's
The smoky eye.
that'll be the through line.
The
yeah.
tropey
There needs some
tavern.
smoky eyes in every movie now.
Smoky eyed buxom.
Like when you say smoky eyes, do you mean like she's got on like mascara and makeup, or do you mean like her eyes are actually like filled with smoke? Like there's an effect on her pupils.
I hadn't thought about that.
No, makeup.
She's like magic. Okay, that's
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty great.
Like
But I thought 'cause
one
she's
of both.
magical.
This is a budget film. It's makeup.
We're gonna go.
We really spent the budget on the stallions. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Do you know how expensive it is to get horses to Cryo Castle?
Yeah.
Horses do not want to go to Ballarat.
White horses are expensive.
Oh, they're all white stallions?
Yeah, obviously.
Man, we
He's
overspent
a prince.
on the horse. Like, we could have just got the one horse and recorded it lots of times.
Yeah.
Just tape together a bunch of cats.
Yeah. Or cutouts, like horses from a distance.
Yeah.
You know, sheep are also medieval animals.
Just shave it and chuck on a saddle.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have just had the sheep. They're a lot cheaper.
You can't ride a sheep. Or you can, but you're not going to enjoy it.
No, I don't think you need to bend creatively on that point. If you want white stallions in every shot, I think you should spend the budget on that, and the gypsy will just have some makeup.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
The cake at the wedding can also be small. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or cardboard.
real-
I'm indifferent.
For a royal wedding, I feel like that might be an oversight.
Okay, it can be cardboard then.
I mean,
It's all.
this isn't a financing. In a pitch, it's time to go wild. A pitch is when you can dream.
Well, I could have said paper.
Although if it's medieval, you'd save
He
on.
did spring for 3D paper,
Yeah.
cardboard.
Cardboard.
If it's medieval, you're saving on not having any photographers. So
Oh,
like
true.
weddings
Yeah,
are.
that's where they get you.
Yeah.
They try to bring in with those like photo booths now, but it's not the same.
It's just a sketch artist with like really fast method. It's just like, oh god, I can't get the nose right. Anyway, there are your 4 frames. Next, right, what do you want? They've got the big novelty glasses and the. Like, oh jeez,
guillotine.
yeah.
That was a great pitch. I
was a
really
great
like
pitch.
that. I really like the twist of its invisibility and everything is a ghost.
It really ran out of
It's such
thought.
a switchback.
I know.
'Cause it's like it could be like, wait, was this like the lady had it in for this princess?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
this
Because
was-
like, how is
yeah.
that even helpful?
Yeah, but like maybe it is helpful. Like it's really ambiguous.
Yeah, there was no antidote given, so she just had to be
No.
invisible forever.
Yeah.
But she's drunk. She never found out. Maybe she was meant to give it to him. Because the ghost thing, remember that I put in the foresight? Maybe, yeah. Maybe she got the right thing right.
Well, maybe that's the curse of it, is that, here, I'll give you this potion so you can escape. It lasts forever.
I feel like we're fairly close to a pitch for not Tangled, the Scottish one, Brave. Except the potion was bears, not
Yeah,
invisibility.
true.
Just my portion.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't want to bring in my mum.
That's well, the budget. Just slight budgeting restraints. We couldn't
Afford her.
lock down our mums.
Yeah.
Speaking of mums, special shout out to our mums listening.
Oh, it's very
Our
unlikely my
3
mum's
and only
listening.
listener. Oh, 2 and only.
Yeah.
Oh,
1 and only listener.
I'll play it in my car with my dog. She can listen.
you have a dog?
Yeah.
Not the coolest.
I know. Her name's Billy, but she's a girl. Stereotypes, bang.
Why wasn't that in your intro? That's gold.
All right, that was amazing. Damien, would you like to pick out a random genre?
Very well. All right, so I've got the magical curse.
Yep.
And my genre is going to be. My genre is a western, and it has a magical curse. So
Not a trope and genre that oft overline.
no, but I think I can. A few things spring to mind.
A fistful of magic.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that the magical curse will be linked to an item. It's going to be like a 6-shooter, and it's going to be like a legendary pistol held by a gunfighter. So
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
open gunfighter, horse, maces,
Like
the
the
sun
elder one from
overhead.
Harry Potter.
Just so, just so. So we don't know it's magical. He's just like a gunfighter of some renown.
Oh, like
He's
he
riding
picks
through
it
the
up off
desert.
someone.
Yeah, the cry of the vultures. Like it's a very kind of classic Western open. Goes to a bar and you see him walk past a wanted poster and it's his face. So it kind of informs the audience that this is a man.
I'm
of
already
some
attracted to
notoriety.
him.
Yeah. He's stubble. He's lighting a match on his chin. The full bit.
You can tell he's a hunk.
He gets in some trouble with some like local ne'er-do-wells, and he pulls out his pistol and pop. So you're like, okay, this guy's a very proficient gunfighter. He's a classic cowboy type, but he was like, he didn't even look where he was shooting. This is just that good. So he moves to the next town, gets raucously drunk, and then he goes to get robbed. Well,
I like that we're bringing the drunk thing again. We are
It is a
paralleling.
through line,
Yeah.
So this tavern actually has a very kind of mysterious looking bartender.
Ooh.
Kind of a subtle wink to the combined cinematic universe. So he gets really drunk and he gets robbed, and his pistol belt gets stolen. He wakes up and he's very concerned, and he's looking all around. He's like, "Where are my pistols?" And get him out. He's really upset, and he goes and gets some other pistols, and he kind of lays a pursuit course for the people that took them, who have fled town. He gets brought up by the sheriff, and he gets in a gunfight, and he can't hit anything. He doesn't know how to fire pistols, and you're like, "Wait, what's going on here?" And the sheriff eventually like subdues him and arrests him, and you think like, "Wait, hang on a minute, isn't that our main character?" And then cut, and he's being dragged away, be like, "Where are my pistols? I need my pistol." Cut to close up of the pistol, and it zooms out, and it's like a plucky young like runaway that's obviously never kind of sat a horse in his life. He was the blacksmith's like apprentice, and he didn't want part of that life, and he's stolen some money and some pistols, and he's off. And he also gets barred up by some bandits, and they're like, "Wait a minute, where'd you get that horse? We know that you don't belong on that. Give it to us." And the pistol kind of makes like a humming noise, like a ring, like some kind of like magical kind of calling, and
It's thrumming with energy.
and all of a sudden his hand like flicks down to it, and bang bang bang, and it fires. And he's like, "Oh my god, the pistol almost has a life of its own," and you just realize this pistol is enchanted, but it also like compels him forwards, and like you see it kind of take him from town to town, and he just sets out to like live a life, but it keeps like driving him towards a life of violence, and it ends up like kind of steering him to follow the same path, and kind of corrupting him, and it only ends when someone like finally like steals the pistol and moves on with it himself. So it's this cursed item that like takes young kind of innocent like members of the West and like
People who
turns them into
yearn for
these
a
kind of like
life.
almost like killer monsters.
Yeah.
Like, and they become bloodthirsty for it, and it perpetuates the dark cycle. And it almost hints that like maybe there are more of these items out there, and maybe the Wild West is kind of like tainted by this like this gun lust. So, like, is it a social commentary about gun control?
Is it?
Is it some kind of like revenge that some like Native American shaman put on the weapons that they like? If they like killing so much, they'll have to kill forever. It's left unanswered. It's
ambiguous.
Yeah. All you know is there is something definitely like unsavory about these pistols, and it has some kind of like fell sentience that cries for blood. Also, never needs to be reloaded. I'm just going to throw that in there as well.
Oh, that's
Just
always
like
good
to
to
add
see.
to its kind of spookiness.
To save money on having to specifically frame the shots, we put in the individual cartridges.
Yeah,
and everything.
it just goes.
It's ain't John Wick. We don't reload here. Well, everyone else does. This one's magical. Which would be great, because then you could have like a one shot, like a 10-second one shot of like he rides into town, and everyone's like, "We're the town gang, and we're gonna stop you." And he's like, "You can try," and just in a single uninterrupted take, he's like, bang, 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 and it's like 12 shots, 12 kills, and then just a smoking gun, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to reload.
I think as a visual clue as well, the close-ups of the gun might have, you know how they had kind of embezzlements and engravings on the pistols? They were like kind of like spectacular kind of like pieces of like kind of wrought-ware. It would have like kind of deathly symbols and maybe like kind of occult markings, or maybe like candy skulls or something like
Candy skulls.
Well,
No, I want candy skulls.
okay. It's
No more spitballing, candy skulls.
That's a hard yes on the candy skulls.
yeah, like there's something kind of like not quite right about even the design of the gun. It's like out of
There's an upside down cross dangling from a chain on the hilt.
yeah.
The end of it's got an orange cap because they couldn't cut it off.
Damn it! It looks so lame with that on there.
Everyone thinks it's a toy.
And every time like a close up to it, it's a whip crack and an eagle cry. It's a Western staple.
Simultaneously praising but yet critiquing the violence it ensues.
Yeah.
Like
So the first half is kind of like fetishizing it, and then you see kind of its corrupting influence. And
Yeah, like you're showcasing it, but you're also showing what it's doing, and nice.
yeah, backdooring a moral tale. That's my. I don't have a name for it. Any ideas for a working title?
Cursed item, Western 6-shooter. 6 shots of cursed. No.
You know what? We'll pick
workshop
up.
it.
Yeah, we can pick up a title later.
Alex, you got a better title than that?
Well,
Say any string of words.
I was like revolving like door. I don't know, like into like death and life, like, and it's a revolver.
I could just call it a revolver.
Yeah,
Because it's like kind of like takes people and uses them up and then goes to the next person. So it's like
yeah,
Yeah,
cycles.
revolver.
it's like it's chambering them in its gun and firing them.
We're all bullets in the gun of life, kid. You just never know when your shot's up.
Yeah, do we go back to the hot guy in jail or what?
You're nothing but ammunition to the revolver.
When does Chris Pratt come back into it?
Okay, so this is going to be...
This is why I watched the
If we're getting
movie.
Chris Pratt to be the cowboy at the start, this is a real kind of cameo length, like, opening.
Yeah.
It's just like he sits the horse, he does the gunfight. That's it. That's all we can afford. I really spent a lot on the eagle sound effects.
Yeah.
Crisp stereo. Eagles. We can only afford 66 seconds of Chris. You got to make it count.
So that's my pitch.
Nice.
Well done.
That's my Western magical curse. All right, I'm going to pass over the genres on their mystical journey all the way over to Harley. Alex, if you would.
Thank you. Now, you remember to put action adventure right at the top for me, right?
Sure.
Barbie princess TM. Like.
I really hope you get the musical one.
I'm a Barbie curse in my cursed Ferrari. No.
Quiet boy, do you want to be sued?
Yeah. 2 more words and we would have had to pay
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
The most profitable endeavor ever, suing a podcast. Oh no, my Squarespace money.
Our Patreon funding.
Oh, here we go. All right, my random genre is thriller.
Oh, that's great. What a natural
Yeah.
pairing.
A lot of these have worked well, really.
You get the low ball, Harley. Come on,
Yeah,
like
I
hit
feel
us with the
like-
heat. Like if you get the easy pairing, really bring something fresh.
Thriller and cursed magical object.
Or it doesn't have to be an object. It's just a magical curse.
Oh, true.
So
Yeah.
Just to make my life both easy and harder, does anyone want to give me a sub-genre of thriller? Like, do you want it to be a political thriller or just a thriller, ass thriller?
I was thinking like a slasher thriller.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
slash-
fucked up gore.
Fucked up gore.
Yeah, like shit's going everywhere. Like
So
you're
if
not even
my
quite sure
pitch
if it's real or
started
not.
with, it's a Hollywood Chris murdering teenagers at a summer camp. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how in would you be?
If Chris Pratt was murdering
A
people.
Hollywood Chris.
Oh, just a Chris?
They're all hunks, let's be honest.
Could it be all of them?
They're all the teenagers at a summer camp, and the
Like,
other Chris left
You
out
and the
is-
White Stallions, my lord.
Wow. Anything there, I'd watch it,
All right.
to be honest. It could be the worst movie ever. I'd still watch it.
That's fair. All right. Magical curse thriller. All right. So I want to stay away from summer camps, obviously, because it's kind of been done. What's something that a horror killer might use that could be passed down?
Teeth. I don't know. You go.
A buxom barmaid.
He chomps them to death.
Cursed set of dentures.
Yeah.
All right, so fade in. We're at an airport. We see people doing airport things, paying too much for whatever, being screwed around by insert local government airport security agency.
Mm-hmm.
And then we land on the carriage carousel. And all of the luggage is going by, people are picking it up, and then there's one lone, tan leather briefcase. It's, immaculate, but it's still got some wear marks on it, so, it's seen a few things. And then there's this harried businessman who comes running up. Oh, thank God, they got my bag. And he's like, this isn't my brief. Oh, it must be. It's the only one here. So he picks up the briefcase. And he's
Surely you'd know. You're like, this isn't my briefcase. Yeah, I'll just tuck it. It's close enough. It's got similar
All right, it
documents.
looks exactly like
Yeah.
it is his briefcase.
It's the same brand. Is it really
Yeah.
nondescript?
Yeah. It's just a, whatever. And he's like, I better see if my stuff's still in here. And he, goes to fiddle open the locks and, his combination's right, even though we know it's not his briefcase, because we all know what movie we paid to see. We know it's coming. And he opens up the briefcase and there's just a mask in it, a full, leatherette mask. And he's like, oh.
Like a kink mask?
No.
Ugh.
No, we're more
Okay.
going for,
Would have preferred a kink mask.
Yeah.
Freddy and Jason.
Like a
the sort
zipper
of
and stuff.
Or a
no-get
ball gag.
masks.
No, so it's like a skin. It's like human skin.
Does it enclose the full head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So it's
full
like
mask.
they're ready to shrink it down to make a whatever it's called, shiki or whatever. But they just haven't put the rocks in it yet.
Sure.
No? Okay.
Wait, what?
About the people in the basin of the whatchamacallit. I don't know. I'm not good with words, but they like, you know, the people who shrink the heads.
Yeah, in the Amazon. Is that how
Yeah.
it's done? With
Yeah.
a sack and rocks.
So they originally like boil it with like vinegar and stuff to like shrink it a little bit, and then they like use dry heat. So they put like hot rocks and then eventually like pebbles and like sand and like
Ah.
shrink it.
Clever.
Yeah,
Well, now I know.
yeah. Now we
Right,
all know.
I'm ready to go shrink some heads after this.
Anyway, so it is made of human skin, but it isn't shrunk and it doesn't have hot rocks in it. And he's like, oh, that looks like it'd fit me. I'm gonna try and put it on.
Is he still in the airport?
Yeah, no, he's in the luggage terminal. Like, there's people in the background. You know, the next flight's landing in the background. You know, people are starting to approach the carousel. The carousel's starting to spin up again. He's like, I'm just gonna put this on. So he drops the briefcase and he puts it on. He's like, oh, this fits perfectly.
And he hasn't been arrested yet.
And then we cut to a wide shot and we can see a security guy's like just looking over and like, what's this guy doing? What's his story? And he's like, oh. So the security guard starts walking over to the businessman. And the businessman's like just putting his hands on his face, just feeling how well the mask fits. Like, I've never had anything fit anything this perfectly before. And the security guard's like, hey, mate, what's going on? What is any of this?
So this is an Australian movie because he said mate.
Yes. We had an establishing shot earlier, Sydney International Airport.
Okay.
All right.
I'm glad it's not Melbourne because this sounds fucked.
Yeah, you don't want this in your own backyard.
Yeah.
And the security guard walks over to him and is like, hey, mate, are you okay? What are you doing? And then and then the businessman turns around and you can see like super bloodshot eyes, rictus grin, the whole thing. And he just strangles the security guard. And like, we watch the whole thing. It's like 3 minutes. It's frankly disturbing.
Right.
And he just tackles him to the ground, and then other passengers like, what the fuck is that? And, you know, so other passengers start coming over, they start, like, trying to tear him off the security guard, but he's not going. Eventually, he gets pulled off by, like, a dozen passengers, and he just, as they're pulling him up in the air, he turns around, gleaming at them, and just starts slashing at faces everywhere. And then, like, eventually people are able to wrestle him to the ground, and he's just like, no, and he's fighting them, he's, like, slashing them, he's biting people, he's doing whatever he can until, like, eventually, like, the police come in and swarm him and, like, cuff him and tag him away. And then, like, the fervor sort of goes out of him, and he's, like, still covered by the mask, but now it's just like he's been trapped in there. And people are like, whoa, that was weird. Like, was he on drugs? Who knows? So they're dragging him away, and then some random person just picks up the briefcase and like, oh, I wonder whose briefcase this is. Oh, I'll take it to the front desk. So they take it to the front desk, and then the clerk's like, yeah, I'll take it in. I'll give it to whoever it is, you know, whoever comes and claims it. And then, you know, they slam the briefcase on the thing, and hard cut 3 months later, and we pull out of a television the trial of local Sydney businessman Eric Handelsford, who went crazy at Sydney International Airport, starts today. He's expected to be found guilty on all counts of being a psychopath or whatever crimes they're charged as. And then we see the clerk, and the clerk's like, well, guess no one's claimed this briefcase in 3 months. It's mine now. And then so he takes it home. We follow. It's like a montage, but with, like, you know, light music. But we know what's up. We know what this case can do. And so he takes...
Wait, did the mask fall back in the briefcase?
Yeah,
No.
that's
And
exactly what I'm wondering.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
We specifically see the mask stay on Eric Handelsford.
Okay.
What businessman?
Yeah, I just got this image of like the mask running like a puppy.
Yeah, like
squeeging
across.
Yeah. Just like into the thing and then like reaching up with its like kind of the side of its mask and like pulling it closed from the
Using this
inside
little schnoz
and locking
to, like,
it
drag
like,
along the ground.
Yeah.
like a dog going into a kennel.
Like a bit of Tim Burton.
All right. I don't worry, guys. We're almost there. You're about to get it. Because
Sorry, go ahead.
horror
Yeah, sorry.
World
Yeah.
3s. We're almost there. So he takes the briefcase home and he puts it in his like workshop, like the garage or something, and you can hear from inside his husband. Let's make it husband. We're in 2018. Husband's like, dinner's ready in 10. Eric.
Another Eric.
Oh shit! No, that was his first name. That was the other guy's name. No, we need a different name. Dinner's almost ready, Andrew. And he's like, all right, I'll be there soon. I just got to open this thing I got from work today. And so he's like fiddling with the locks, like, oh, I wonder if I can pick this. And like one lock clicks. And then like his kid runs in and like knocks over a lamp or something. And like, oh, sorry, Daddy G. Willikers. And he's like, oh, God damn it, that was my father's lamp. Just run off, Billy. Run off. And so
Don't bring my dog into this.
oh, sorry. God, I'm bad with names. Run off, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah, you broke my father's lamp. And he's just like, he gets a bit sad about it. He's like reminiscing about the troubled relationship he had with his father. But then he's like, oh, God, that child, he's always breaking my things. He needs discipline. He slams his fist down on the table, and the second lock clicks open. And he's not looking at the case at this point. He's just in his moment. He's like, oh, if only I had something to teach him some discipline. And then the case springs open. And inside the case is a gun. And he's just
What
like,
the fuck?
oh, this'll teach him. And he whacks the slide and chambers around. He's like, oh, Daniel, you've broken my father's lamp for the last time.
What?
What spoon have you been using before you thought of this? Jesus.
And then he goes and violently kills all of his family. It's a thriller.
Wait, I was really expecting another mask.
Yeah, I want another face mask.
No. See, you're starting to question it. That's good. Now we're heading to the final act.
Oh, gee, how long have we been watching this for? It's not very slashy for a slasher.
It's a thriller, okay? You got to build up to the horror, because now we know what this briefcase does, right? It takes people in a moment of weakness and gives them something to enact the worst, darkest, violent fantasies humans are capable of. And so...
Is it the... Can I... Sorry.
Yeah.
Is it the gun from my pitch? Like, can it be...
Does it have
can it be a
sugar skulls on
revolver?
it?
Is it a revolver with sugar skulls?
When do they get drunk?
I'm going to say
Who has the
yes.
smoky eye?
It's the gun from your
Yes,
bitch,
same
Damien.
cinematic universe.
Yeah, it's the revolver.
We had a pretty small budget for guns. This isn't America.
Yeah, we're shooting them concurrently, so...
We're doubling down. Anyway, we see a montage of the police, the emergency services arriving, dragging him away, screaming like, I don't know what came over me. I'm a good man. I'm not my father. Like, what's his deal? And anyway, the woman with the smoky eyes walks in the background. Like, the camera's not even focused on her. Only people who've watched this trilogy of films will know. And she walks in and you see her pull out the briefcase.
Oh, like take it.
Yeah, like, unbeknownst to all the police.
Taking back a Casey case. That's where she got her invisibility
Yeah.
drink from.
Yeah. It's
But
weird.
and which came first? Ooh. Wait, the
And-
medieval one. Yeah, got it.
So, and then she just, without looking, just leaves it on a bus stop. Not a bus stop, a bus stop.
For the next person to...
Yeah. But here's the thing, horror rule of threes, we have to see the third one. And I guess I'm not usually into horror, so I don't know really what I'm doing, but, and then like, this mum and
I
her
can't
kid
tell. This does, this is...
walk up, and she's like, distracted on her phone, like, oh, God, Sarah, why did you set the meeting for 4? I've got to do errands at 4. And the kid's like, oh, mommy, what's this briefcase? And then, like, the kid's like, clack, one of the latches open, and she's like, don't play with that. It's probably a meth head's briefcase. Just leave it alone, Timmy. Yes, Timmy will do. And then Timmy's like, oh, no, mummy, it's fun. Click. And goes the second latch. And then he slowly opens the briefcase, and then there's a rising shot from behind Timmy. So as he opens the case, we sort of pan up and over to see what's in the case. And inside the case is
Does it just go black? Because we've been
No.
watching this movie for 87 hours.
It could well just go black at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because it kind of writes itself, right? Like, the
Yeah,
kid
like-
pops it open and it's like,
I
oh.
Kills his
have-
mum probably and the bus driver.
that really should be the credits scene, the slam to credits of like Timmy's like as the bus pulls up and all the people are on the bus and you know what Timmy's gonna do next.
They massacre the bus.
Yeah, pretty much. So I kind of lost that.
Yeah,
pretty
I
early.
mean, like, just a cut to black isn't going to disappoint me as much as that entire storyline.
I guess Tim fell out of fire because I'm roasted.
I was
roasted.
I was actually like following it until the second item was a gun.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I felt like if it was along the same lines as the mask, like if it was like some kind of ceremonial dagger or
Yeah.
like or some other like theatrical piece. But like the gun just seemed but the gun seemed really like
Yeah, that's pretty blunt, isn't it?
I
Like
could-
a
Out of
mask
nowhere.
is kind of mysterious and evocative, but a gun's pretty like, well, I guess I know what you're doing today.
I can't get past him being like, this isn't my suitcase, but I'm like, oh, well. And then I couldn't get past him putting on the fucking mask. I would have been like...
was the mask
It's
like
you
kind
know
of
what I better
seducing
do?
him with
Yeah,
its
the
like
mask was like calling to him, like, "Ooh, that's what is this mask? It looks like it fit me
it
perfectly."
was whispering to him. It's giving him the fell Surprise.
The power can be yours.
Nah, that's fucked. That's it's like, what? Oh, there's a lot. That was like 6 different movies. Just like, but like one movie was one of those movies where nothing happened, and that was like in the middle.
That's the greatest horror of all,
Yeah.
watching a boring movie.
Just
No, it's more going to be like the curse is the briefcase and that lives on, and sort of that's where the horror comes from, the thrilling.
But you don't explain it, and that's like my worst thing in movies is like,
Yeah, but if you explain the magical monster in thriller movies, it kind of loses its mystique.
well, you
Don't they
can
always explain it at the end bit?
Oh,
No, they
the
was like,
denouement.
oh, and this guy always comes out on Halloween.
Yeah.
He's a spooky guy that does that.
Yes. Many do. Some don't, I guess.
This
doesn't.
one doesn't.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you got that one and not me. Thriller is definitely not my wheelhouse either.
Oh boy.
I love a thriller. That's like my like that and like comedy movies are like all I
Yeah.
watch. It's like if they're not dying or laughing, don't want a bar.
Wow, that's strong. You're just interested in the extremes.
Yeah,
as long as people
exactly.
have their mouths wide open and they're screaming.
You really know what you like then.
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
All right, that has been our pitches. I would say a success, a pretty moderate success, and mine needs some work. I'll admit it.
But I like that we're establishing a combined, like, a mythos is
Yeah.
already there. There's the cursed revolver that reappears and the smoky-eyed tavern lady.
Like,
Yeah.
did she get the revolver out of the briefcase? Did the potion come out of the briefcase? Did the mysterious lady create the briefcase? No, and no are the answers to those.
Yeah, she
questions in
seemed
order.
cooler in my movie. She was like cool, but it's fine. We'll just like she's the
in mine-
briefcase lady now.
In mine, they had to recast her, but they just, like, kind of dressed her
Yeah,
up
they
the
put her up
same,
in a
but it's
ponytail and like
yeah.
a pencil skirt for your movie. Like she was a police officer now.
She's got smoky eyes, but she's got places to be.
You still had the dreadlocks and the headband, but
Of course.
Yeah, actually, that's why you need the distinctive makeup because
Yeah.
the costume would change based on the different
Well, that's
periods.
why I like the
Yeah.
smoky eyes, like as part of the iris or the pupil, like that sort of special
Like,
effect.
it's literally smoking.
Yeah, so we, the audience, know that she's connected or is the same, you know, either direct or a descendant or something.
time traveler.
No, you have to wait until the time travel
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
get that
can't
one.
do that. That's the rule.
gimmick comes
Idiot.
out.
No genre
Yeah.
bending.
First person to get the time travel one can then put the. All right, so there's this smoky-eyed lady in the far future. She invents time travel.
Smoky-eyed
Yeah.
woman, 3024.
She
Yeah.
created the first briefcase.
Yeah.
Done.
Using
Made
using
millions.
advanced technology as if to appear magical.
Oh my god, that's the fourth and final movie in the quadrology.
Oh god, I've accidentally pitched it. So you just laughed and a little pitch came out.
You're a non-stop pitching machine.
Pitch and pitch again.
All right. All right. That's been our 3.5 dramatic pitches. Let's fade out to the credits. You've been,
Alex,
and you've been,
Damien.
an existential crisis waiting to happen, apparently.
I nearly went to say Alex again. I was like, wait, is this still going to be funny?
One of my middle names is Alex, so I could be Alex, and you could be Alex, and you could be Damien, I guess. So,
I guess I'll just have to keep being Damien. That's fine.
oh well, that's what we like you for. My name is Harley, and you can find this and many other great podcasts on waterfallstories.com. You can check out my podcast, Alex Gabbett's Case Notes. Like and subscribe and share to Surprise Synopses. everywhere. If you leave us a nice Apple review, one of us will read it out in a dramatic voice.
This is going to be on Apple?
Yes, on an Apple.
Damn, Africa.
We got an
Is this going to be on Spotify?
Spotify is slightly harder to get into, so maybe.
We'll see. I
When
hope
we-
so.
when we
That's the
achieve-
only thing I watch podcasts on.
But
Listen
when we
to.
achieve like more notoriety, we can put our back catalogue on there. So
Yeah.
like eventually, yes, but in a kind of
So
like
never. We're not getting on Spotify.
We'll be on Stitcher.
We'll be in our hearts.
Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can watch this podcast. Woo! Well, you can listen to the podcast, and I'll make a
Yeah.
nice little animation.
For those listening, Alex and I both just looked around for cameras.
No.
Yeah, I
There
was
are no
like,
cameras
what?
that are recording.
At the moment.
No.
that we know of.
Thank you very much for listening, and good night. No, that's a bad sign off. What's a better sign off?
Bye.